All right, so the recording started. Welcome everybody. Welcome back to Personal Finance. We have I have a small class this block for Personal Finance. So I guess everybody else will have to kind of pitch in a little bit. So if you haven't already, looks like I got quite a few of you, most of you on the Nearpod, but that link is right there if you need it. Let's kind of get going. So I'm just going to share my screen real quick. All right. Okay, so this is lesson 2 in personal finance. So hopefully everybody's doing well and you kind of understand how the class works now. Remember, let me just kind of show you a couple of things. I'm going to jump into the class. So the class right here, you go to the class, you have the home page. I'm always going to put the lesson recording right here. So if for some reason you miss it or cannot be there, you're going to find it right here on the home page. Okay, and that will kind of tell you everything that you need to do. If you push plan, it should put you right here, and it shows you a calendar, okay, of what needs to be done. So this week is module 5 and module 6. If you notice in your grade book this morning, I actually went in and put module, let's see here, 3 and 4 that was due on the 29th. I zeroed those out. So I did just get some messages recently that I haven't been able to return yet from parents, all that kind of stuff. You guys saying, why do I have Fs? It's because this was due, module 3 and 4 were due on Friday, and I just put zeros in, okay? Which is not a big deal if you're a little bit late. Just go in, watch the videos, take the quizzes. How you do that, right, is you go in to the different modules. So if you haven't even done module 1 yet, you can come in here, click the video. After you watch the video, take the quiz, gives you a score. If you do not do well on the quiz, then what you need to do is just retake it, okay? Retake it and until you get the score you'd like, okay? So any questions on that, you can put them in the chat or so on. Okay, I don't see anything coming up here. All right, so let's go through this. A couple things I need to go over. Remember, this is going to be recorded and it will be posted for those that cannot make the lesson today. Also, class expectations. Remember just to kind of follow along, use the chat appropriately. If you're putting something in the chat and I don't see it, you can just raise your hand and I'll just look in the chat, find out what needs to be said. Okay, I think we already went this, where you should be in the course right now, right? You should be working on modules 5 and 6 right now. What we're going to be going over today is more just talking about what you've learned already and trying to get that more in your brains there. So, okay. All right, so we're going to watch this video real quick. You can play it on your end if you'd like, if that's a little bit easier for you, or you can watch it from my end too, okay? But this is about financial planning and setting goals, and then we'll have a discussion. All right, can everybody not hear it? You need to kind of let me know. turn up my volume. You can also watch it on your end too in the Nearpod. Let's see if this is better. Can you hear that one now? No, some people can hear it, some people can't. Looks like a lot of you can't. Okay. Are you in the Nearpod? Because you can play it yourself. So you can go in and play it yourself in the Nearpod. Okay, you're just gonna watch it. Okay. Yeah, you can just watch it or just kind of watch the video because it has a lot of just words on it too. So you've been playing on the Nearpod. Okay. All right, cool. So I'm just gonna keep playing it and then we'll have a discussion about it in a second. All right. So my favorite part of that was when they sail around in a sailboat and they have the cats that come out. I don't know about you guys. That was pretty funny. Okay, so here's the questions. It's a lot about goal setting, stuff like that. What are some goals you have set for yourself? Okay, and these could be anywhere from short term to long term, that kind of stuff. What are some goals that you have set for yourself? Okay, so going to a technical school, that's awesome. Okay, keep active with friends later in life, that's good. Graduate, good. Learn a new language, graduate from high school. Graduating is probably a very good, possibly short-term goal for some of you. I'm assuming some of you are what, seniors this year, maybe juniors. Okay, earn some money. Okay, money's part of it, right? But money goes to what? What does money go to, right? To quality of life, to achieving goals, to doing that. So they want someone to graduate and save some money for driving classes. Yep, driving is going to open up a whole new world to you, right? It will. There, you can get there. So get a car. That's the same thing as well, right? It saves time, but they're costly, right? Cars are costly. You got automobile insurance, car payment, gas, maintenance, all that kind of fun. Okay. Yeah. So there's also social goals as well, right? To make new friends, to make a dino-shaped pancake. I guess that can be a goal. Maybe, yeah, I know you need to eat, so that could be a goal. So sounds good. Very good. So we want to make sure we're looking at those things, seeing what they're. So what short-term financial goals do you have? Okay, so that's something we'll want to look at. Okay, because financial goals are pretty important, right? Because they're the ones that fund being able to accomplish goals. Everything costs money, right? And so you'll want to do that for sure. So here we go. Here's another one that's going to talk a little bit about, a little bit about what's called cost of living, okay? So basically, how much does it cost to live in a certain area? We talked about vehicles real quick because that's on everybody's mind. A lot of people are saying for driving classes, for stuff like that. The cost of owning an automobile and the cost of living, having a family, all that kind of stuff. Okay, so here we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is if everybody wants to go to this website right here, okay? So if you click on it, I think there's a way to, why isn't it letting me click on it? Oh, there we go. Yep, so if you click on the Nearpod, it'll take you right to it. I'm also gonna put it in the chat real quick, okay? So this is something you'll want to do because I think it's pretty interesting to see. Okay, so you can say I currently live in here Utah, right? Utah, and so I live actually by Ogden. That's my closest place. So find the closest city that you currently live in, and then if I were to move, so if I made $50,000 a year, okay, to have a comparable salary and live somewhere else, like San Francisco, it's saying right here, I'd have to make 105,000 to have the same quality of life. That's pretty crazy, right? If I moved to Miami, 60,000. I moved to New York, I'd have to make 133,000 to have the same quality of life that I have where I live, right? If I made, that much money, okay? Boston, 78,000. So you can see these are more expensive places to live. So for example, think of a place that you have thought about moving to, or you'd like to, right? You can just click here and you can say, well, let's see here. I want to move to Arizona would be good because I like it in the winter, right? Let's go with, they have Mesa? No. Flagstaff? Let's go with Mesa area, okay? So if I were to go to Mesa area, I have to make more money in Mesa than I would there. And it kind of tells me how much higher things are. So transportation costs are lower. So I guess my, insurance, car insurance would be lower, but my food costs are going to be higher. My entertainment costs will be lower. My healthcare costs will be lower if I live down there. Okay. So that's kind of interesting. So this is something you'd want to jump on and kind of do and kind of see what are some other things. So let's see here. Let's see another place. Does anybody want a place to kind of look at? See how much it costs to live there? You can put it in the chat real quick. You can do it. Hawaii. Okay. Everybody wants to live in Hawaii, right? So Honolulu is the only place they have. I'd have to make, oh, you did live there? 105,000 to have the same quality of life as if I made $50,000 in Ogden. So that's 279% higher. Transportation is a lot higher. Food costs, that's what kills you. Entertainment's higher. Healthcare costs is higher. It's just expensive. Yep. To live there. And that's probably because it's due to living on an island and stuff like that, right? So that's something you can go and you can mess around with. So I want you to go do that real quick. Okay. So you have the website. Let me put it down in the chat again. And what I want you to do is go find the closest place to where you live that they have on there. Okay. So, if you live in somewhere in southern Utah, you probably want to put St. George, somewhere in the middle, maybe Cedar City or something like that. Wasatch Front, just someplace close, the closest place. And then find a place you want to live to. And where do you think it was? Okay, higher, it was 263%. That's a lot. Okay, than Salt Lake. Phoenix was higher by 4%. That's not bad, right? But you'd have to find a little bit more higher paying job, right? That's all right. We're just guessing, man. I mean, just put in anything that you thought might be cool, right? Maybe Alaska or Florida or I think some of the cheaper places. Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't have outside the United States. That'd be kind of cool. You do maybe Paris, Idaho, right? Okay, North Dakota, Fargo, it's 50% lower or so. Okay, wow. Very good. Yep. So you could go to North Dakota and it's cheaper to live there. Seattle was higher by 120%. A lot of areas like I think Tennessee, Alabama, those areas seem to be a little bit lower. And it looks like North Dakota is a lot lower. So, and they have some decent paying jobs there, actually. You work like on the pipelines and stuff like that. Okay. What else, guys? Anybody else there? I know we got more than 5 people on the thing. It probably takes you a little bit to get to the site and stuff, but take a look. All right, anybody else? I'd like to know, it'd be interesting. Okay, we'll move on just a bit. Okay, so that's actually the very end. Remember what you need to do this week, right? If you go into the course, you go to the course plan, Module 5 and Module 6 are due this week, okay? So if you come down here, that is starting in Unit 2, Module 5 is right here, and Module 5 only has 1 video and stuff, and Module 6 has 2. So it's actually a pretty short kind of week there, okay? Also, I did want to mention, if you need any help or anything like that, you can come to the study hall that I put up, or it should be on your calendar under health and, or not health, history and elective study hall on Fridays at 1:15. So I'll be in that room if anybody needs help there. So any questions or anything like that? I'm going to stop the recording real quick.